Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much again for joining me. So today's video is all about my trip over the rainbow when I was Glinda in a production of The Wizard of Oz. We had an amazing week and I cannot wait to tell you guys all about it. Okay, so my trip over the rainbow this week was unbelievable. As I said, I played Glinda in a production of The Wizard of Oz. It was an absolute childhood dream come true. I've been watching this film since I was about this big, for as long as I can remember, and it's always meant so much to me. I get very emotional when I watch the film. It's something that I have massive nostalgic feelings over. It brings back my childhood and I just absolutely adore this film. So playing any role in this production would have been a brilliant thing for me, but playing Glinda specifically was definitely a childhood dream come true. To get to wear a big puffy pink dress was just every girl's dream, I think. Anyway, it was my dream to always wear the big puffy pink dress and the big crown as well. That was awesome. So yeah, we went live on Wednesday night. That was our opening night. I didn't have anyone in the audience that I was aware of that night. All my family and friends had booked tickets for later on in the week. I went on stage with my microphone pack on, because we all had microphone packs given to us, people that had like lines and singing parts and things like that. So I had a microphone pack on. I felt very professional. I went on to do my lines, and as I started to speak, I just knew that my microphone pack wasn't on, and I was like, oh, keep going, doesn't matter, you know, the front row can hear me maybe, but literally no one could hear me the entire time that I was on stage for my first scene. When I got off the stage, everyone kind of like rambled around me. It was like trying to fiddle around, because obviously my dress was humongous, absolutely humongous, and there was so many different layers to it, and my battery pack was underneath my dress, clipped to the trousers that I was wearing underneath the dress. So everyone was like rambling, trying to get under all the different layers and trying to get to my battery pack, and obviously turn my microphone on. So the second half of the show, I did have a microphone and people could hear me. But yeah, the first half, which also included my solo singing part as well, I had no microphone, so that was blissful. It was quite funny in the end, and I actually had a really sore throat on that Wednesday as well. I woke up on Wednesday morning with the croakiest throat, and it devastated me. I really thought the whole week of this show was going to be completely ruined for me, because my throat was really sore, and I couldn't really talk, and I couldn't sing, and I was just like, oh my god, this is going to be the biggest disaster of the world. This was the first time I've been on stage for many years since having my children, so for me it was just like devastation city. But I was drinking sugar. I wasn't drinking sugar. I was drinking honey and hot water all day to get my voice to loosen up so I could actually talk properly and even attempt to get some kind of vocalized singing out of me. And my microphone wasn't even turned on anyway, so it really didn't matter. But I continued to do the honey and water thing for the entire week, because I did not want to risk any kind of damage to my voice, and I wanted to make sure that when I was on stage, I could do my singing parts and I could do my talking parts with as much comfort as possible, and I did make it through, thank God. So we got to the end of opening night, we did our finale, the curtains went up, and as I looked out into the audience, I spotted my parents. I couldn't believe it. I actually thought they were coming on the very last showing of the week. I didn't expect to see them at all on that Wednesday, but bless their hearts, they knew that I was a little bit gutted that I didn't have anyone there with me for the first show. So they booked additional seats to come and see us on the first night, as well as they were going to come back on the very last performance as well. So I was very lucky. My little girl Sky was also involved in this production. She was too adorable. She was brilliant. She really threw us off into this entire week. She was a little trooper, because it was long hours, long days. You know, she was going to school in the morning, and then we were going straight up to Pontypool, which takes us about an hour to get to actually go and do the show. And it was a mad rush panic, but it was really amazing, and we loved every moment of it. The lad playing the lion, obviously if you watched my video beforehand, you might know that we had a specific person playing the part of the lion up until 2 weeks before the actual show started, when he broke his foot and was no longer able to perform and to go on stage, which we were all devastated about. So we had another young lad step into the role 2 weeks before the curtain went up, and in massive props and fairness to him, he did amazing. I was so impressed. I couldn't have done what he did, and he had so many more lines than I even could think of in my role. He had so many more things to do, and he nailed it. He absolutely bossed it. You would never have known that he had 2 weeks to prepare for this role. You would have thought he had joined in at the beginning with the rest of us and done it for this entire time, because he was absolutely brilliant. The original Lion was still a part of the production. He was actually backstage, doing a lot of backstage stuff. He was doing a lot of lightings and cues and things like that, which was brilliant for him. And he also got to do the role of the, I suppose it's like, is it a guard or the doorman, I suppose? When they very first go to Oz and they get to the gates and they ring the bell and the guy comes, who rang that bell? And then he puts the sign up for like, you have to knock first. So he was that guy basically. He could do that because he was stood behind 2 doors. He could have his crutches with him. He got given a very nice tash to wear, a very nice green dicky bow. He was loving life. So yeah, he was able to join us and be a part of the show, which we were all really thrilled about. So that was brilliant. The girl that played the part of Dorothy, what a superstar, absolutely brilliant. She was amazing the entire week. Again, she also had some issues with her voice being sore, so she was doing all sorts of different things to make sure that her vocals were going to be okay, that she could speak properly and do the performance as best as she could. And you would never have known. Like, I saw her behind stage, like taking different medicines and like throat sweets and things like that, and I knew she was not suffering, but I knew she was having issues. But when she stepped on stage, you would never have known there was issues with it. She was just fabulous, absolutely gorgeous vocals, brilliant performances, such a talented girl, and I was so proud of her and everyone else. Everyone was just amazing in this show. And when it came to the final performances of the week, we actually had a 2 o'clock matinee and then a 7 o'clock show on the last day. Now, this day was very tense for everyone because everyone knew that it was coming to a close. Everyone was a little bit sad, but everyone was super excited at the same time because they really wanted to go out and give those last 2 shows absolutely everything that they had. At this point, I was feeling a lot better about my voice. My vocals were getting much better. I was able to speak more clearly, and I was feeling a lot more confident in myself to go out on stage. And my battery pack was working for the other shows, just to clarify that as well. So yeah, the matinee performance was actually filmed, which we didn't expect. We thought that we weren't allowed to have any pictures taken, we weren't allowed to have any footage taken of the show, but we did have a professional photographer come out and we did have a videographer come out and actually film the matinee show, which was brilliant because we were all really gutted that we couldn't have any sort of footage from the show. A lot of us, it was the first time we've done it in a while, or it's the first time ever that we've done something along these lines, so it meant a lot to us that we could actually have the show taped and given to us. We all bought DVDs of the show to actually have and to cherish, because it is something that I'm very proud of. I'm really proud of me and my daughter for doing the show and everyone else that was involved. So yeah, that went down absolutely brilliantly. Afterwards, we went to get some food because obviously we had a few hours in between the first show and then the second show, and we were all starving. So me and the girl that plays the Wicked Witch decided to go to KFC. So she is greened up to the nines with a witch hat, all dressed in black. I am all glitter covered and pink and crazy hair. And we thought that it would be really funny to just stay in, not costume because we couldn't get into the car with our dresses on. The pair of us were in difficult costumes. There was no way I was going to get my dress into my car, and she wasn't going to be able to do the same either. But she stayed green and I stayed glittery, and it was hilarious. I had my daughter in the back of the car, and we also had the girl that plays Aunt Em in the back of the car as well. And we all decided to go down to KFC through the drive-thru to go and get some food. The looks we got, it was absolutely hilarious. Like I said, she was full on green. I'm shimmering like a crystal ball. It was absolutely hilarious. And we got to KFC and the woman came to the window to serve us, and she kind of did the whole, what? What is going on? What are you guys doing? Why are you agreeing? So yeah, it was absolutely hilarious. And like I said, even when we were just driving through the town to get to KFC and then get back again, people were kind of doing second glances at the car as we were driving by thinking, what on earth? Why is that girl green? But yeah, that was really, really funny. And when we got back to the theatre as well, and we told everyone where we'd been, they were like, "You went green?" And she was like, "I couldn't exactly take it off, so yeah, I went green." So that was brilliant, really, really funny. So then we all sat around on the stage having something to eat, all having a bit of a chat. People bought programs from the show, and everybody was signing everybody's programs. We knew that obviously now this was going to be the last show of this season, and it was really, really sad. Again, we were all so excited though to get on with that show because we knew that it was going to be like a big bang kind of situation. This was going to be the show. Everything was going to go perfectly well. Nobody was going to forget any lines. Everything was going to go absolutely swimmingly. And then of course it came to the very last performance, the big show as we all say, and yeah, it went perfectly well. Everybody did everything they were supposed to, everybody was where they needed to be on time, nobody forgot any lines. It got right towards the end of the show, just as the balloon goes away without Dorothy and she's trying to say goodbye to everyone. There wasn't a dry eye on that stage, I'm telling you now. I was stood on stage next to a few of the girls that were playing Oz ladies, and on the other side of the stage was Dorothy, the Tin Man, Lion, Scarecrow, and they were all doing their goodbyes scene. And I looked over to the Scarecrow and she was streaming tears, and just looking at her being so upset, I burst into tears. It was really ridiculous. But yeah, I was really, really, really trying hard to fight back tears because it was so, so sad. And I knew I had another 2 lines to come up as well. So I was like, please don't blub through your lines. Please just stay calm until you have those 2 lines out the way. When the curtain closes, you can blub all you want. So I made it through my 2 lines. The curtains closed and literally everyone burst into tears. It was so, so, so sad. It was so sweet though that everyone was just so invested in this show and so invested in each other as well. I've never gone into a situation like that before where everyone is bonded so closely and so quickly as well. Everybody on that stage was gutted to be losing everybody on that stage. Even though we are, well, most of us will be going back to do another show later on this year, it's still really, really upsetting that that show had been done and now we were kind of all going our separate ways for a few weeks, a few months, depending on how it all works out. And that some of us aren't coming back, because I know for a fact that the girl playing Dorothy isn't able to come back. She's in university and she just won't have the time, and it's too far away for her to come back and forth to do the next show, so she's not able to come back. And I think we are missing out on 1 or 2 others as well that just haven't got the time to be able to come back for the next show. So it was really, really hard to finish that last show. Everybody was in tears. Everybody was hugging and crying. We had our director and the person that runs the whole of Star Dreams did speeches, just kind of telling everybody what happened throughout the rehearsals, how much time and effort everyone put in, all the costumes, the set design. Everybody did so much for that show, and it was such a wonderful experience, something that I will cherish for the rest of my days. And I loved every moment of it, and I'm so sad that it's over. And I also can't wait to get involved in the next show, which I believe is going to be Peter Pan. What part I will go for in Peter Pan, I'm not sure. I don't actually know what kind of part I could go for in this one. When they told me it was going to be the Wizard of Oz in the first one, I instantly knew I'm going to be Glinda. I wanted to be Glinda. Didn't go in cockily, went, I'm Glinda. No, I asked to be Glinda. And I knew I wanted that role. But with Peter Pan, I can't exactly be Peter. I'm a little bit too old for that, unfortunately. Can't be Wendy, too old again. And I can't be Captain Hook because I think someone else has kind of claimed that role, which they deserve, so they can have it. But yeah, I don't know who I'm going to be. So if you have seen the musical Peter Pan and you know all the different roles and how it goes, and you have a suggestion for me as to who I can play in Peter Pan, pop it in the comments down below and I will have a little look into that character, because I'm stumped. I don't know what I'm going to do. But yeah, thank you so much again for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it wasn't too rambly, because I know I can do that sometimes. I just wanted to share with you the most magical week of my life. And yeah, I really, really hope you enjoyed hearing all my little stories. Thank you so much again for watching, and I will see you all very soon. Bye.